Real Madrid's injury crisis had reached a breaking point. Carlo Ancelotti called it a total emergency, and he wasn't exaggerating. With Antonio Rudiger, Dani Carvajal, Eder Militao, and David Alaba all sidelined, Madrid found themselves without a single senior defender for a crucial run of games. Imagine that. No experienced offenders. None. And the stakes? A derby against Atletico Madrid and two high-octane clashes with Manchester City in the Champions League. The odds were stacked against them. But here's the twist. Real Madrid didn't just survive. They thrived. Against all expectations, they stayed alive in the La Liga title race and, against all odds, knocked Manchester City out of the Champions League. How did they do it? Well, one name stands out, Raul Asencio, a young and proven defender who stepped up when Madrid needed him most. In this video, we're diving deep into the rise of Raul Asencio. Who is he? How good is he really? And what does the future hold for this young Spanish center back? But before we get into all that, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our football profiles. Trust me, you don't want to miss this story. Now let's rewind a bit. Raul Asencio's journey to Real Madrid's first team isn't your typical fairy tale. He wasn't a hometown kid destined for greatness. No, his path was anything but straightforward. Born in Las Palmas in the Canary Islands, Asencio started his football journey with his local club before joining Las Palmas youth ranks in 2012. For 5 years, he honed his skills there, flying under the radar. Then, in 2017, Real Madrid came calling. At just 14 years old, Asencio joined Madrid's famed academy. But even then, he wasn't seen as the next big thing. Fast forward to 2022. At 19, Asencio earned a spot in Madrid's C team. He was still raw, still developing physically, but his steady progress caught the eye of Real Madrid, Castilla's coach, Raul. Yes, that Raul. The club legend handed Asencio the captain's armband, a sign of trust in his leadership. But even with that responsibility, Asencio wasn't generating the kind of hype you'd expect from a future Real Madrid star. In fact, reports suggested the club was considering releasing him at the end of the season. He wasn't seen as a first-team prospect. Not yet. But then the injury crisis hit, and everything changed. With Madrid's defensive ranks decimated, Ancelotti had no choice but to look for reinforcements. Asencio, who was already training at the club's shared facilities with Castilla, became an easy option to call up. It was supposed to be a temporary fix, a stopgap solution, but Asencio had other plans. He grabbed his chance with both hands and refused to let go. What followed was nothing short of remarkable. Stay tuned, because we're about to break down how Raul Asencio went from an afterthought to a key figure in Real Madrid's defense. This is a story of resilience, seizing the moment and proving the doubters wrong. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see why Asencio might just be Real Madrid's next offensive superstar. So, who exactly is Raul Asencio and how good is he? Let's break it down. Over the past month, this 22-year-old has proven that he belongs at the highest level. He's not just filling in, he's thriving. Asencio has showcased a blend of technical skill and physicality that makes him a reliable presence in Real Madrid's defense. But what really sets him apart? His intelligence. This kid reads a game like a seasoned pro. He snuffs out danger before it even fully develops. And that's something you can't teach. Let's talk numbers, because they tell a fascinating story. In La Liga this season, Asencio boasts an impressive 93% passing accuracy. That's not just good, that's elite. It shows his ability to keep possession and play out from the back with confidence, a must in modern football. But it doesn't stop there. He also completes 57.1% of his long passes, which means he can switch play or find Madrid's superstar attackers with pinpoint accuracy. Remember his debut? He effortlessly pinged a 60-yard pass to Jude Bellingham like it was nothing. That's the kind of composure you'd expect from a veteran, not a 22-year-old rookie. Defensively, Asencio is a rock. He's won 68.7% of his overall duels and 68% of his aerial battles. For a guy who's only 6 feet tall, modest for a center back, that's seriously impressive. His athleticism, makes up for his lack of height. His leap allows him to compete in the air, and his mobility helps him recover quickly in defensive transitions. Madrid fans, you're going to love this comparison. Asensio's style is eerily reminiscent of a young Carlos Puyol, composed on the ball, dominant in the air, and blessed with great athleticism. Sound familiar? But let's not stop there. Premier League fans might see a bit of Manuel Akanji in him, while his calmness on the ball draws comparisons to John Stones. However, with his blend of physicality, technical ability, and Spanish heritage, there's really only one standout reference point: Sergio Ramos. Now, I'm not saying he's the next Ramos yet, but the potential is there. Asencio may not be truly outstanding in any single area, but he's very good at everything, and that's what makes him so special. Beyond the stats, the biggest compliment you can give Asencio is how seamlessly he's slotted into the team. Thrown into the starting lineup out of necessity, he looks completely at home alongside Antonio Rudiger. Their partnership is still in its early stages, but it already has the makings of something solid. Even when Aurelien Tchouameni has been deployed in defense, Asencio has provided Real Madrid with balance and stability. He's given the team a strong foundation, allowing the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, and Rodrigo the freedom to flourish higher up the pitch. Carlo Ancelotti himself has acknowledged Asencio's progress. Early on, the youngster was sometimes too aggressive in his challenges, but he's learned to control that side of his game. We worked on that, and he is doing very well. Ancelotti said, "Raul was a surprise to everyone, really. He is a surprise to me too." And let's be honest, if Ancelotti is impressed, you know this kid is doing something right. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Asencio is still young, and there's room for improvement. For young defenders breaking into top-level football, one of the biggest challenges is adapting to the speed and intensity of the game. Asencio is no exception. While he's impressed in high-profile matches, there have been moments where he's been caught out. Take his display against Liverpool, for example. It was a standout performance, but it wasn't without its struggles. On a few occasions, he was exposed on a counterattack, and his body positioning in one-on-one situations let him down. These are natural growing pains, but they're areas he'll need to refine if he wants to solidify his place in the team long-term. Another area for improvement is passing consistency. While he's generally composed on the ball, there have been moments where his distribution has been less assured. Against Leganés, for instance, his passing accuracy stood at just 84%. Now, that's not terrible, but it's below the standard expected at Real Madrid. The good news? He's already made strides in this department, and with more experience, he'll only get better. Domestically, Asencio may not face too many stern tests in La Liga. Let's be honest, only a handful of teams have firepower to put serious pressure on Madrid's defense. The real challenges will come in European competition, where the tempo is faster and the opposition is more relentless. That's why the upcoming Champions League fixtures stand out as defining moments for Asencio. Teams known for their aggressive, high-intensity attacking play will push him to his limits. But if his performances so far are anything to go by, he's more than ready for the challenge. So, what's next for Ruben Asencio? Well, when a young player breaks through a club like Real Madrid, it's only a matter of time before the national team comes knocking. And that moment has already arrived. Spain manager Luis de la Fuente has admitted he's keeping a close eye on the 22-year-old, hinting at a possible call-up. It's a huge compliment to Asencio's rapid rise, but it's also not surprising. De la Fuente wants to inject young talent into La Roja's squad, and the upcoming UEFA Nations League matches seem like the perfect opportunity. At the club level, Asencio's future is looking just as promising. Reports suggest Real Madrid are preparing a new contract for him, likely featuring a significant release clause and a well-earned salary boost. It's a clear sign of how much his stock has risen in just a few months. But securing his place in the squad long-term won't be easy. Eder Militao and David Alaba have both made comebacks from injury and have already reclaimed their spots in the first team. Asencio will have to prove he's more than just a temporary solution. He needs to show he belongs in Madrid's defense for the long haul. Here's the kicker. Had Asencio not stepped up so convincingly, Real Madrid almost certainly would have been shopping for a new center-back this summer. They had already attempted to strengthen that position last year, only to lose out to Manchester United in the race for Lenny Euro. Arsenal's William Saliba is also rumored to be a long-term target for club. But with Asencio's emergence, those transfer plans might be reconsidered. For years, Barcelona's La Masia has been celebrated as Spain's premier talent factory. But Real Madrid's La Fabrica has been producing its fair share of quality players too. Asencio is the latest success story, a reminder that Madrid can develop young stars just as well as their biggest rivals. Now, it's up to him to build on this momentum and cement his place in both club and country. But what do you think? Should Ruben Asencio keep his place in the starting lineup for the foreseeable future, or does he need more time to develop his skills? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell for more football content. This is just the beginning of Asencio's story, and trust me, you'll want to be here for the next chapter.